this show that we received was better than Raw. Now, mind you, Raw was better than Fastlane. Fastlane, Raw, then Smackdown. You can see the difference. There's a bigger difference. And I'm actually very happy about that. Because Fastlane left a bad taste in my mouth. Even though it wasn't a bad show, it was average. And that's not good for a pay-per-view. Then you got Raw. It was way better than it. It doesn't mean it was a great show. It was just better. And then you got Smackdown. That actually was a good show. Much better than Raw. And it was more fun. At least for me. Let's get to the thing I think one person who's my subscriber, Morgan Hyde, will agree with me, was wonderful. The segment with Baron Corbin. I am so glad the way they're doing this with Baron. I'm so glad that Dean kicked the butt of Kurt Hawkins again for a second week in a row. Kurt Hawkins called him out and he got his ass handled to him. Knocked out. He calls out Baron, and I'm talking about Dean, and again, Baron does not come to the ring. He only does the Titantron. Mind you, and I have to be honest here, I am a fan of Baron Corbin. He has great size, he has a great look, he's not bad in the ring. He has a good presence, but he does need work with his mic. He needs mic work. And even though it wasn't bad, I do believe he needs more practice. I don't think he had to worry that much on NXT on talking too much. I'm not saying he didn't talk. But look, that was basically the C show. And even though he was sponsored very well, I don't think his talking's still there yet. It's pretty much rose a little bit from NXT because I did see a little bit of him on NXT before he went to the main roster. But let's be honest, he still needs some work. But in the end, it was still effective. Dean goes to the back, and what do we get? Dean getting himself stuck under a lifter. I haven't seen something like that in a while. We know the lifter wasn't set to really hurt him. He was fine, but still it looked good. It makes you wonder, oh my gosh, this guy's an animal. Sheesh. That means this might actually be good at WrestleMania. And I'm looking forward to it. Now, I'm going to get this done right now. The Cena family versus the oddballs of Carmella and James Ellsworth. What did we actually get to see in that match? What? I'm not talking about Miz and Maurice. I'll do that in a second. But what did we actually get from them? Woo, my goodness. It was bad. It wasn't even joking. It just looked bad with James Ellsworth getting destroyed the way he did. It was embarrassing. But here's the thing I know a lot of people might not be 100% in agreement with. But I will say this. When you look at the Miz's promo, that is what a Mark would say. He made it very clear that he's one of the best. Well, I saw the Slug Daddy's video on Fastlane, and I do agree with him. Goldberg is now the top of the food chain when it comes to debating, politicking and debating with someone to get what you want in the WWE. The second in line is John Cena. And what The Miz said is what a Mark would say. Look, we've seen it for years. In actuality, I may actually do a video after this talking about John Cena because Brittany Johnson, she doesn't get the reason why people don't like Roman Reigns and they're comparing him to John Cena. So I may actually do it after this. If I don't forget, because I tend to forget when I'm trying to explain these videos. Sorry. But anyway, oh my goodness, it was very well done. And it makes you see clearly who are the heels here and who are the faces. Of course, this isn't intentional by the WWE. At least to a certain extent. They don't want people to boo John Cena and boo Nikki Bella. But let's be honest. A lot of very good, decent fans, they may not be hardcore fans. Maybe they're in between casual and hardcore. They have watched the product for years. They've seen John Cena bury a lot of talent. That should already be in the main title scene for the last 3 or 4 years easily. And I'm not talking about Roman Reigns. I am talking about... no, I don't want to go through them again because I will get myself upset. I'll leave it for the video if I don't forget. But still, when you see this, It makes The Miz total face. As much as they're trying to make him a heel, he looks total face. And it makes what's going on with Cena being a face a total heel. No matter how much the people are going to praise and let's go Cena, Cena sucks. We have a clear understanding of who's the heel and face here. Nikki and John are the heels here. Because he's right in some respects. And the fans do agree with that. And as much as many people rather see John Cena with The Undertaker, this is what you get. And it may actually pan out. May. I can't say it will. I'm just saying it may pan out. Now, Women's Month has come up. They went through Black History Month for wrestling. Now they went for Women's History Month for wrestling. I have one problem with it. Not against Trish or Lita. I like them. It's this. I'm putting it in my face. They wanted to show Lita, and I'm not taking it away yet. They showed Lita breaking her freaking neck on camera. I'm taking it away. Look, you want to show how great Trish Stratus was, how great Lita was. Couldn't you have said in this package, this vid pack, for Lita and Trish Stratus, because you weren't willing to do them separate for some stupid reason. You couldn't do one day for Lita and one day for Trish, and you've done this across both shows. How come you show Lita breaking her neck and not say that she was so dedicated to WWE, she broke her freaking neck? Why? And then worse, you show it on TV. Come on. What is wrong with the people in that production, in the production trucks? Or down over in Connecticut? That was stupid. She literally broke her neck on television. You still got film of it, of course. But then you're doing Women's History Month for wrestling, and then you show Lita, and you don't say on screen that Lita was so dedicated she broke her neck, but you're willing to show it. Really. Anyway, next. Let's get to the women. There wasn't really a lot on this show, but let's get to the women. Alexa Bliss comes out with, the gorgeous Mickie Jane. I'm sorry. Right now in that company, there are roughly 3 women in Smackdown right now. They're absolutely gorgeous. You got Mickie Jane, you got the Alexa Bliss, and you got Natalya. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Becky Lynch. I'm not taking anything away from Carmella. It's just that those are the 3 most beautiful women right there. Work ability, let's be honest. Mickie Jane and Natalya are the best workers that was on that stage, in that ring. They are. Mickey's just one of the best women that work. And I want to say this before I go any further. And I know I'm seeing some people, but they on YouTube, they don't really say much about Mickie Jane's belly. But let's be honest here. Mickie Jane had a kid. And if no one understands, I know women would understand this, but if guys don't understand, you got to see it in this respect. The way women's bodies work, not every time does a woman's body revert back to a normal state, especially when they're older. Now, Mickie Jane's almost 40, and she had a baby a couple of years ago. So in her case, her abs will never be the same again because she had a baby. And in that case, she's always going to show her belly, even though the woman has a 6-pack. That woman is basically ripped, but she's never going to get it back to normal. I just wanted to say that so people would understand how gorgeous this woman is and how well built she is. She is heavily athletic, and so is Natalya. And the way this went down, this gave me hope. You know why? When Daniel Bryan came out, when they could not decide who Alexa Bliss was going to face, he comes out and he says, Alexa, you're going to be going against every capable woman that is available on the roster. Now, of course, that could mean everyone. That means Carmella is going to be involved. That's going to mean Becky. It's going to mean Natalya. It's going to mean Mickie. And it easily could mean Naomi. They wouldn't say that unless Naomi was coming back. Brittany, I believe 100%. If I'm wrong, okay, I'll eat crow. I've always said that. Someone could say, you got to eat crow, you were wrong. And I'll say, you know, you're right. No one's ever said it because in most cases I haven't been wrong. But in this case, I really don't believe I'm wrong. And I'm closing my eyes because I'm wishing so hard I'm right. That Naomi Knight, our princess of knighthood, Naomi the Dark Knight, I call her Naomi Dark Knight. She never likes to be a heel, but she is the true Dark Knight of the WWE. And there she is in my shoulder, and there she is in my face, and she will be at WrestleMania. She's going to shock everybody. So they had a subsequent match afterward. What did we get? We got Natalya basically nailing the Becky Lynch. And then Alexa get nailed by Mickie James. It of course has to happen because they got to make it interesting. And you know what the kicker is for this situation, ladies and gentlemen? Unlike Raw, where they're focusing on only 3 women, in this case, they're focusing on 4 women, with a possible 5th coming back, and then a 6th one. Yeah, she's been in a crappy little situation. I'm talking about Carmella. At least they are mentioning and giving them something to do. And this is how I feel about it. On Smackdown, it feels more fresh. Of course, they got the same roster, but at least you know there was a difference. At least with Naomi, they did something different. And even though this is like what they've done before, at least this basically battle royal in a sense, well, not battle royal, basically just everyone going for it, at least it will be on the show, unless they're going to be stupid enough and cancel it like they did the last time with Naomi. This is what I'm hoping will not happen. Now, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. If I'm forgetting anything, I'm sorry. But AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. In the beginning of the show, we got the bosses talking about how they're going to solve this problem, and basically that's how they did it. They put these two together and put them in a ring. It was a damn good match. Just like Cena and AJ has good chemistry, guess what? Randy Orton and AJ got good chemistry. AJ, if they put a real person that can work in the ring when they want to, can pull off anything. This literally was the best match of the night. It tore the house down. It just did. And in the end, it was Randy Orton. Now, I said there was a possibility it could be a 3-way match. A triple threat at WrestleMania. And to be honest, I would have still liked to see that. I know many people would say, no, 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 no. Let it just be AJ and Bray Wyatt. 2 up-and-comers doing it. Honestly, no. It would have been better to have a veteran in there. Because WrestleMania, you need a certain attitude there that AJ, even though he has been at big matches on pay-per-views in RH, in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and TNA, it's completely different at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt has been at WrestleMania, but he's never been in the main event. And Randy Orton has. And I felt that would have gave a great dynamic. Even though it would felt a little weird having AJ there and Bray Wyatt having to deal with Randy Orton, then try to deal with AJ at the same time. I just felt it would have been better. But it's understandable why they did this, because they're still trying to do the Wyatt thing. Is it a great gimmick? With that fire on that house they did last week, it looks pretty good. But it's still a question, will it actually work? Will Bray Wyatt perform well enough with Randy Orton to actually make it special? People rather see John Cena with The Undertaker, or John Cena with Randy Orton for that title. But this is what we got, honestly. But it's just my point of view. You guys tell me below, and I hope you enjoyed this Smackdown Live. Please give me a comment below. And now I did remember, I didn't forget this time, I will be making a debate of the week on why people hate Cena and Reigns. Watch for it. It may come out either tomorrow or later tonight. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.